Hey everyone, thanks for coming back to Stampin' Up with Jaimielynn Lake and the Stampin' Sugarbeets. Today I'm going to show you how to make one of these rosettes. And some people call them lollies, I call them rosettes, and they're made using the Stampin' Up Simply Scored scoreboard. So I know a lot of you have purchased these and have been wanting to see how to make these, so I figured I'd show you. Here's a large one and a small one. Here's an even smaller one. So this was made using Spice Cake, which was in last year's Many Occasions catalog, and I still have these rosettes lying around. I'm going to use the Summer Smooches paper, designer series paper, the yellow side with the blue circles, and then the other side is that really pretty motif. So what you do is you take your paper and you score it at every 1/2 inch. It's really your preference, but I score my paper at every 1/2 inch. It gives it this nice size fold. And just so you know, with designer series paper, I would use the broader end of your stylus. If you use the smaller, pointier end, it usually tears. So use the broad end on your designer series paper. I usually only use the skinny end on cardstock. So score it out every 1/2 inch. And I'm going to just score down the whole entire piece because I'm going to make more than one rosette eventually. But if you don't have this wide of paper, it's no problem. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to make 2 strips of scored paper, fold them into a fan fold, and glue them together, and then fold it down on itself to make the rosette. And I will show you exactly how to do that, so don't fret. Okay, so I've scored my designer series paper at every 1/2 inch, and you can't see it, but it is there. And then what I'm going to do is cut it into 2-inch strips. Now, the way that you cut it has to do with the diameter of your rosette. So since I'm cutting 2-inch strips, the diameter of my rosette will be 4 inches. Now, we scored it this way. We scored it with the long side against the top of the scoreboard, and the scores are going this way. You want to cut your strips with the scores going horizontally. So when you cut your strips, this is how you're going to cut them. So I'm going to cut a 2-inch strip here and another 2-inch strip, and we're going to glue these together. Okay, I'm going to set this aside. And here are my 2-inch strips with the scores going horizontal. Next, you're going to fold them. So this starts with a peak fold. See the peak of the mountain? So that's a peak fold. And you can see how easy the scoreboard makes it to fold, to fan fold. It just literally melts into your hand. And press it together to make sure you have a really nice and tight bunch. There you go. Now, because this is a peak, you want to start this one off with a valley. So instead of pointing it down, I'm going to make this into a valley. And the reason is we're going to glue these together like this. Okay, so this is a valley fold, and now I'm going to fold it back and forth. And you can see it just flows right into itself since you've already scored it. Okay, press those together, make sure they're nice and tight. So now you have your 2 strips, and we're going to glue them together. But first, before I do that, because you're not going to have enough hands, is I'm going to punch a 1-inch circle from my designer series paper, and this is to glue onto our rosette to hold it together. There's one up at the top that you can really see it. So you need to be able to glue that center together, and what you use is matching or non-matching designer series paper. I like to glue them opposite, so if this is the side we're using, I'm going to glue this circle that way. And if we're using this side, I will glue the designer series paper that way, just because I like that funky look. So here's that nice area that you're going to put glue on. I use hot glue just because it's what I've found to hold the best. You could use sticky strip also, but it's just faster for me to use glue. And then what you do is you match the mountain to the valley fold. And you just put one right on top of the other. Press it together and let it set for a second. Okay, so that's what that looks like. It's very seamless, you can't even tell. And then I'll show you again. I'll try and do it a little slower and have my camera be in focus. So here you can see that we have a valley fold, V for valley. I'm going to apply glue right here on this side, hot glue. Okay. I'm going to take that valley and adhere it to my other side of my rosette, which is the mountain fold. See that mountain fold? And I'm going to put those right together like this. Lay one right on top of the other. And there's that. Okay? Just going to press that together to secure it. And now you have this kind of accordion circle. And here's where the tricky part comes in. And you'll get this. I mean, you make a couple of these and you'll have it down pat. But what you do is you fold it upon itself. So this is where the not having enough hands comes in. You fold your rosette down onto itself by crunching it together and kind of squishing it, and it'll kind of just take its own shape, okay? And hold it down, scrunch it up, see? Scrunch it up, and I'm going to grab my glue gun, which just so happens to be inconveniently on the wrong side of me, which is to my left. Use my glue gun, and I'm going to go right around that center. Make sure I get glue on all of the little fan folds. And here's where I'm going to stick down that 1-inch circle punch. I'm going to give it a couple seconds to set. And these are really fun. I mean, a lot of people use these little rosettes and they put maybe a peppermint patty on one side with a cute little cinnamon on the other side. On this one I used a little button, if you can see. This is a little itty bitty one. Here's that really nice big one. See? And I like to do the different designer series paper on each side. Okay, so this seems like it's good. Now when you flip it over, be very careful and gentle because that glue is still a little wet. So you're going to flip it over. Continue to hold it down because this side is not secure yet. Take your glue to the other side and go right around the middle. Make sure you get every fan fold covered in glue, just in the middle. You don't want the glue to come squishing out of your circle. Take your 1-inch circle punch, lay it right on top, and hold it down. Just until it sets. I really like this designer series paper. This summer Smooches is in the new catalog. It was available for pre-order, and now it's in the new catalog. So starting June 1st, you'll be able to order it for yourself. And that looks like it's good. And there you go. Your beautiful lolly. Check that out. Isn't that paper beautiful? It's so summery and bright and colorful. I love it. It cheers me right up. And then here's the other side. Now, like I said, we did 2-inch strips, so the diameter of this rosette is 4 inches. You just need to remember that when you're slicing your strips, make sure that you slice them, each strip, at half of the final diameter of your rosette. So 2-inch strips for a 4-inch diameter rosette, 3-inch strips for a 6-inch diameter rosette, and so on. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.